Yeah.
Okay. So we've got here we go.
All right.
We're live now. I see we've got one person in the chat room. We had 16 there, but unfortunately we had
hopefully some of them will come back over. Sorry, guys.
Hey, no worries. Okay. We've got 3 folks in the chat room. All right. We are just kind of had a little bit of technical difficulties. I think there was maybe an issue with the scheduling a live stream and trying to get Ryan on there instead of just going straight to live. For some reason that would work, but going from the live stream wouldn't work. So here we go. We've got people swarming in here now. So my guest today is Ryan the Lucky Schmuck. Thanks everybody for joining. We are going to talk to Ryan today and field some questions for him. Ryan's one of my favorite YouTubers. I think we started around the same time. I think that's right, Ryan. You started around February, January, something like that?
Yeah, I think my first video was sometime in February.
Sometime in February? Okay, yeah. Mine was like sometime in January. So unfortunately, I can't see the chat on this, but I am going to scroll through on my phone and see it. But let's do a quick roll call, see who's here today. So we've got Insightful One, Fish Keeping. Hello, thank you for stopping in today. Rob93 is in the house. What's going on, Rob? Cameron, learning to keep fish. Thanks for stopping in, buddy. Dub Rexy all the way from Australia. Good afternoon to you. Jose Oliveira from Florida, I believe. That's Ryan's in Florida too.
Yep, that's my local buddy.
Right on. Giovanni DeSantis, my cousin. That's my local buddy. Mile High Pleco's this guy's a moderator and just can't keep it clean. Trevor, thanks for stopping in, man. Sherry Sweeney, hello, how are you? Thank you for coming in. Aquarium Thoughts. You know, I appreciate you watching. We'll talk about Josh Gordon getting sent over to the Patriots maybe a little later.
Please, let's talk about that.
Daniel, how are you today? Thank you. K-Town Reefer. I was in Kelowna. He's from Kelowna. I was in Kelowna on the weekend. That's a quick roll call. So let's get Ryan over here. This is the tank that we want to see. So here we go. We've got Ryan. We've got his tank.
I thought everyone wanted to see your brand new. It's a 220, right?
It's a 220. People have seen that one. They want to see. They want to know what happened to those petricolas of yours.
Yeah. I don't want to dwell on it too much, but I definitely appreciate. I know a ton of comments came in on that video. Haven't had a chance to respond to them yet, but thank you guys. I know a lot of you guys I see here in the chat. We're definitely leaving comments, so thank you. Yeah, I messed up, made a rookie mistake, and I think it was the hot water. Actually, I saw a comment from someone else that thought it may be like supercharged chlorine from my tap water, which it could have been. But either way, I put too hot of water in the tank and ended up losing actually 5 of the 6 petricola I had. But luckily for me, I know a local breeder, and I'm going to get set back up with them soon.
That's awesome, Ryan. Yeah, that tank behind you, right now I'm looking over across the room at an empty 90-gallon. And I know my son Ben is really wanting to go African cichlids in that. And I would definitely go, what yellow labs you've got in there? And what are the blue ones? Are those blue dolphin?
Yeah, no, those are cobalt blue. So they're cobalt blue and Buna, yellow labs, and then the red zebra. I love it, man. Honestly, anytime with these African cichlids, it's hit and miss. I would definitely recommend, getting all of them at the same time, so same size at least.
Okay, that's a good tip. So do you have to move the rocks around frequently to avoid aggression in the tank?
I really haven't. I know people, that's probably not a bad thing to do. I've been really lucky in this tank. I lost 1 red zebra, I think a few weeks after I put them in there. And this tank has been set up for coming on a year now. And other than the catfish I just lost, those are the only issues I've had with this tank.
Oh, that's good. Okay, let's just say a quick hello to some other people that are jumping in on the chat here. We've got D from Down the Wormhole, fellow country person. Hello, thanks for stopping in, D. And newly minted 1,000 subscriber as well. And we've also got 808 Tank. Hello, thank you for stopping in. So, Ryan, Actually, here, let's just field some questions. If anyone's got some questions for Ryan, we kind of wanted to have Ryan on today. And Ryan, how many tanks do you have going right now anyway?
Yeah, before I'll get to that question, but I want to say congratulations to you for 1,000 subscribers, man. That's a big milestone. So congratulations. Yeah, I got 16 tanks in the rack system. I got 2 inside and then 2 more outside. So what is that? About 20 tanks?
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So when you say out, so inside, so like in your the main part of your house, outside the fish cave.
Yeah, fish cave. Sorry, outside in the fish cave, the garage, aka the fish cave. Yeah, that's the fish cave has the 16 tanks in the rack system, which is 8 20-gallon longs and 8 10s. I have a 125 out there, and then I have some rainbow fish, little breeding things. I got a 55-gallon that's really kind of a quarantine. And then in the house, I really have the 2 main tanks. This one and a 29-gallon planted in the other room.
That's cool. Yeah. So you do have that 220 sitting there filled with water still, I believe?
Yeah, the 220 is filled with water. I mean, it's still there, but I'll be honest, it's probably going to be gone soon. I really think I'm going to I want to get into some more breeding. So instead of having a big kind of centerpiece tank, I want to have a breeding rack there. So
do you have it filled with water so the silicone won't dry up?
Yeah, it's filled with water. It's running. I don't leave it running 24/7, but I leave the pump on a lot of times. And yeah, it's filled with water right now.
Okay, right on. So I know you were talking about. I've seen one of your videos with Jay Aquafunk, and you were saying that your favorite tank right now is your 29-gallon because you're breeding some super reds in there. Is that still the case? That's your favorite tank?
Yeah, I'd say right now it's probably my favorite tank still. I actually just had another batch with a super red male and an albino female, and they all came out kind of like brownish, reddish, no true super reds. I'm still looking for a super red female. I don't have a pure super red female, so.
Okay. Those calico ones are kind of interesting too.
Yeah, the calico ones, I have like 5 or 6 of those that are almost breeding, should be breeding age soon.
So for those people that don't know, the super red is actually a calico bristlenose that has had all the brown bred out of them. It's not its own species, just in case folks are wondering about that.
I'm reading through chat here. I see Jose said he's following in my footsteps. Tanks keep popping up in his house. Big shout out to Jose. I actually filmed a fish room tour at Jose's place, and that's coming out this weekend. So definitely stay tuned for that because he's got some really cool things going on.
So how many tanks would you say Jose's got?
Jose has 1 main tank. He has a few smaller tanks with some live bearers and some fry. I don't want to give away too much, but he got a bunch of little experiments going on, and he has some outside tubs and stuff as well.
Right on. Okay, I'm just kind of scrolling through the chat here as well, and just kind of saying hi to TM Aquatics. For anyone who loves plecos, check out Tom over there at TM Aquatics.
Yeah, big. Hey, what's up, Tom? Didn't know you were here, man. What's up?
He's got some crazy plecos, like everyone's dream list plecos.
Yeah.
We've got Susie Q from Q Aquatics. Hello, thank you for stopping in. We've got Fish Tropic, another countryman of mine stopping in today. Hello. Fishy Snowman, hello, thank you for stopping in. So for those of you who are not familiar with Ryan the Lucky Schmucks channel, who Ryan probably recognizes most of the names in the chat, but go on over and check out his channel. You will not regret what you see. So Ryan, talking shrimp here for a second. I know you got cherry shrimp and you started shipping some cherry shrimp as well. That's correct, right?
Yeah, I have cherry shrimp. The only shrimp I have are the Neocaridina. I don't have any of the Caridina, but I have the cherry shrimp with the red ones. I have some blues, yellows, oranges, but in small numbers. So I've had a few emails I got to get back to, asking me about selling. And I've sold some shrimp in small quantities before, only the red ones. And I've given a few. I gave some shrimp to Jesse's tanks. But other than that, I'm not really selling the other colors yet. But that's my hope is to, breed them. And I'm never going to have like thousands of shrimp. But when I do have some extras, I definitely want to, get rid of some and sell some.
Have you ever kept the multiple colors in the same tank?
I do. I have one tank that's the LRB Skittles or Skittles Special. And I got some yellows, some browns, some blacks. I haven't seen anything really funky pop out of there yet. But there's definitely like 6 different colors in there. Orange, pretty much, yeah. Every color I have is in there.
That's awesome. I did that as well on my son's advice. We had a bunch of different shrimp in our 29-gallon, pretty much just a shrimp tank. And after a while, I will warn you, you do get a lot of white shrimp coming out there.
Not bad though. I mean, if they don't they call them like a snow white shrimp? I mean, I guess the only shrimp no one really wants is like the super clear ones.
It's pretty clear. I meant clear.
Oh, clear. Okay.
Yeah.
Because they do make a white shrimp, I think, or they do breed a white shrimp, I think.
Yeah. I have tried the red crystal and black crystal shrimp. Those ones are a little tougher.
Yeah, I've heard that, and like I said, I have really hard water here in Florida, and I don't want to get into the whole RO system or water chemistry yet. That's just I want to eventually, but that's just above my capacity right now.
I'm with you. Playing with the water parameters is just too much of a full-time job, and I kind of tend to steer myself towards fish that will happily live in the natural water that I provide for them.
Yeah, luckily, I think that whatever kind of water you have, as long as it's not like toxic, but whether it's hard or soft, you can find some species. You can find some really cool species. I mean, I love the hard water species I have, but I would love to keep some Apistos, and some more like Amazon Cories and stuff like that. I'd love to keep some of those eventually.
Apistos are really cool. They're Ben had a pair that we were trying to breed in his 10-gallon. They're actually, a lot of people ask, like, what can I put in a 10-gallon? How about a pair of Apistos? They can live in a 10-gallon, no problem.
Yeah, I mean, I think you can even breed them in a 10-gallon. I've never done that, but that's what I've heard. I mean, they could put a hut in there, and they're plenty happy in a 10-gallon.
We do have a hut in there. Unfortunately, we have not had any success with them breeding yet, but 10 gallons are hard. 10 gallons not a tank I would recommend people starting out with.
I mean, I don't regret having the 10 gallons in my rack system at all, but the more I'm into the hobby, smaller, 20-gallon long is a really nice small tank in my opinion.
20-gallon long is one of my favorite fish tanks, actually.
Yeah.
I'm going to be adding another tank, just like a quarantine tank. It's either going to be a regular 20-gallon because it would be a free one, or a 20-gallon long if I'm going to actually buy one myself.
Yeah, and $20 for a tank's not that bad. I mean, $1 a gallon sale, or you can find them sometimes. Although I know near me, people know you don't find too many 20-gallon longs. People want an arm and a leg for them because they know they're a little better. But
they are better. You can keep, unless you're gonna put like angelfish in them or something. You can put any kind of schooling fish like that. They're awesome.
Yeah, angelfish is like one of the only fish that's not 29 because of the height, right?
Yeah. My angelfish are going to be moving out of my 29-gallon pretty soon. Once I get this 90-gallon going, we're going to make it. I think we're going to go with because actually my wife really likes the planted tanks. I think we're going to go with South American cichlids with that one because we've got some rams going, and we'll probably move all them eventually. I wouldn't recommend moving German blue rams into a brand new setup. They're a little bit more difficult to keep, and they do well in well-established tanks. So I might keep them up in the 29-gallon for a little bit longer, but we've got some bristlenose breeding in that tank, and we can't keep the rams in there forever.
Yeah, I've never dealt with the rams, but I've heard they can be fragile. Like they can just be really fragile. Like, don't you keep at like 85 degrees or 80 in the mid to high 80s sometimes?
You can't. You're supposed to. I mean, I keep that tank around 80. Plecos like it. Most plecos. I shouldn't just say plecos as a blanket, but plecos like it around 80 as well. So they live fine together in that tank. And then I've got a bunch of neon tetras in there, and they do just fine. Neon tetras are like one of the easiest fish. Like,
I mean, aside from rapid water changes like I did the other day, I think that fish, another sneak peek at the tour we did at Jose's, the temperature in his tubs outside was unbelievably hot, and he had breeding fish in those tubs. So I think if it gradually rises, you'd be surprised at what a lot of the fish we keep can tolerate. Now, obviously, rapid changes is bad, but you'd be surprised what they can tolerate. Maybe not thrive in, but tolerate.
Well, a lot of species, too, once you turn up the heat, that gets them breeding. Some fish, like Cories, like it cooler to breed because that replicates their the spring season for them. So when people try and breed Cories, they do frequent water changes because it replicates the rainy season, and then they keep it down around like 72 degrees.
Yep, I think you can do that with bristlenose. I haven't confirmed it. I don't want to say. I've tried it, and I don't know if it's worked for a fact, but I've had other people do it, and I've got my bristlenose to breed, and I think I could attribute it to a little bit of a nice cold water change.
That makes sense. I mean, I just added a female into that 29-gallon, and 2 days later they had eggs, so I didn't even do anything to it.
Yeah, my buddy ordered, when I ordered those calico bristle nose off of Reddit. My buddy had ordered some too, and his came in a little bigger, and they bred within like a week or two. They were laying eggs for him, so it was like just a win-win.
Speaking of shipping fish,
yeah,
I know, and then we'll head back to the chat.
Yeah,
can I ask you, what is a normal price range for getting fish shipped to your house? Like, what do you pay in shipping?
Yeah, so in terms of like live fish, I really couldn't help you out. Probably, it depends. Probably 25 plus, especially if it's overnight, even more. But I always charge $10 flat. But I'm always shipping, snails and shrimp and little small stuff. So I'm fitting my stuff in a box that cost me $7 and change. So when I add on, the bags and my time or whatever, the processing, I just do a flat 10.
Well, that's another problem with being up here in Canada. Even shipping within Canada, like I'm trying to get these Pleco shipped to me over from Alberta. So I'm just north of Washington State, so that'd be like having something sent from Idaho to Washington, and it costs $100 flat rate. So I mean, it's a struggle up here in Canada to try and get things shipped. Shipping things is kind of out of the question. I've kind of been talking to somebody actually who's on this chat, Mile High Plecos. I don't know if you're familiar with him, but he's got a great fish room. And I've been talking about trying to get something shipped up to Washington State that I can just drive down and pick up. But I do have, Ryan did mention earlier that I do have my 1,000 subs, and I am doing a contest this week. So go check out that video, guys. It came out on Friday, and you can enter to win. And it is a worldwide contest because I wanted to include everybody in my contest, and you could win an Amazon gift card. Anyway, let's head back to the chat here. I do see that Jay Aquafunk with Angel Freak has joined us. Jay, what is going on, my friend?
What's up, Jay?
Jay knows firsthand, Ryan. Have you guys hung out since you guys did the video?
We have not hung out since. I am planning on getting out to the west coast of Florida here soon and seeing it. We're probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours away, I think. But I need to go make a trip out there to buy some fish, and definitely want to go check out his stuff. Maybe do a tour if he'd welcome me over there. That'd be pretty cool. That
would be pretty cool. He's got that new rack system that he's just kind of fired up in his place there.
Yeah, check out his video. I don't know, Jay, if you made your decision on the angelfish, but he put out a video about a week ago, maybe now, about picking 5 different angelfish and some angelfish I had never seen before. So that was a really cool video. I'd never seen half those angelfish before.
That's pretty cool. I'm just looking at the chat here, and Aquarium Thought says he wishes he could do a cold water change right now. It comes out of the tap at 83 degrees. That's crazy. Jeez. I did my second water change on the 220 since I've had it fired up today, and I just take it straight out of the hose. And I was kind of worried about that, but I was watching a video on Simply Shrimps. If you guys haven't checked out that channel, Nathan, he's hilarious, man. But I asked him, like, isn't that too cold to go streaming, just hose water straight into the tank? But he said no, it's because it's such a big body of water. And my temperature dropped about 3 degrees, but within a few minutes it was back to normal.
Yeah. I do the same thing with my 125. I literally just drain it, and I put a hose, like literally a garden hose, right in the tank, throw some dechlorinator in it. And I think the key to that is not doing like a huge water change. Like if I did like a 70 or 80% water change, probably not a good idea, but keep it under, 30, 40, and you're good.
Yeah, I agree with you there, Ryan. I just did 25 because
that's perfect.
I'm lazy like that. So
see, I'm lazy, so I just try when I'm lazy, I try to do one big water change. I think I could squeeze out an extra week.
So I got my cousin here asking a question, Giovanni. He's asking, what about clownfish? Are they hard to keep? Now, if Johnny's talking clownfish, those are saltwater fish. So that's not what we're going to be putting in your tank. Because I did just get a 90-gallon tank that I gifted him. So we're going to be setting that up over at his place.
Nice.
If you mean clown loach, maybe not your ideal beginner fish, but you could definitely keep clown loaches in a 90-gallon. We'll get you sorted out. We'll get some cool fish, and we'll get some low maintenance, easy to start fish and get going on that. Jay Aquafunk is just saying the pandas, the super red koi, the Bulgarian seal point.
Oh,
I really liked the super red koi and the pandas in his video that he came up. Those were my two favorite, and my wife really liked those two too. And I think Ben really liked the super koi angel, the super red koi angel, and the panda koi, the one that was really white with the black on it. Yeah.
Yeah, they were really nice. Like that super red was like the best looking super red I'd ever seen. And that panda was just so crisp. It's like the zebra plecos, is that white and black contrast.
Yeah, it looks really cool. Aquarium Thoughts wishes he could go to the aquatic experience. I believe the aquatic experience is in New Jersey this year. And I know a lot of people are going to do that. So yeah, I wish I could go to that too.
Yeah, it'd be nice. I don't think I'm going to make it this year. I'd love to hit up some events next year, aquatic experience. If they do Aquashella again next year, which I'm assuming they are because it seemed like it was a success this year, love to go to that next year as well.
I'm actually this weekend I'm meeting up for the first time with Brendan, who's that's Flynn's Fish Forum. He lives right by me, I guess. He reached out to me last week, so we're gonna meet up at a fish store, and I'm gonna meet him for the first time. But I know he's really trying to get to that aquatic experience as well. He went last year.
That'll be an awesome collab, man. That's awesome. I know he's been doing it for a while, and he's done some videos with the co-op and stuff. That'd be cool to get to meet him and do some video. I think he breeds some stuff too. That's cool, man.
Yeah, I know he breeds guppies. I'm not sure what else he breeds, but he saw
Liberty Mollies. I think I've watched his videos. Liberty Mollies. Yeah, he's got it going on for, I don't want to say for a kid. He's got it going on for a fish keeper.
Yeah, for sure. He comes on the chat pretty often, so he kind of threw it out there to me last week. So, but anyway, okay. So let's go back to the chat here for a second.
Oh, the chat. I think I missed a question, or we missed a question from Aquarium Thoughts back. Scroll back. It was something I remember it. It was about our quarantine process, I think. I saw it, didn't get a chance to answer it. I think it was Aquarium Thoughts. But in terms of quarantine, I don't order a lot of new fish, honestly. But my thing is, even if it's a local fish or someone you trust, I would still quarantine it no matter what. I say, I think at least 2 to 4 weeks. That's what I do. I have some fish that I got from a good buddy of mine, and they've been sitting at a 55 for almost a month now. And half that's just because I wanted to wait that long, and half it's because I'm still waiting on getting a 75-gallon tank for them.
So, Ryan, do you put like general cure and ick medicine in there, or you just kind of put them in there and see what happens?
No, if I were to order some wild caught fish, which I want to do eventually, I'd probably medicate them with parasites and this and that. But when I first got back into the hobby a little over a year ago, almost 2 years ago now, I used I got some ick and I used methylene blue. That's the only time I've used anything like that. Every time since I've gotten fish, never had to use anything. I'm not a big fan of pre-treating fish just because, like I said, if it was a wild caught fish, I would, but other than that.
Okay. We missed a couple of hellos in here too. Craft Beer Pours. Just want to say hello to you. Rogue Aquariums, what's going on? And Rogue Aquariums is a big supporter of German blue rams as well. They're beautiful. Like super, super beautiful. Like the ones that I got upstairs right now, I got them pretty small. And I always find that like when I buy fish small, they have a better success rate of living long in my tank because smaller fish travels better than a larger fish. If you look at the stats, a smaller fish is going to do better for you. And I also find that they're not as shy. Like when I buy clown loaches, if I buy them small and grow them out, they're going to be swimming around all the time, as opposed to a big one that I buy and hides all the time. Same with plecos. Like I got the Blue Phantom Pleco here. I bought that one when it was really small, and it's out all the time, as opposed to some other plecos that I bought that are bigger and hide all the time. The super red, yeah, like I was saying.
That makes sense. I think buying fish small and growing them out is also, I mean, I think you're right. The fish get more comfortable. They're familiar. They get to grow in that, environment. But I think also just cool to have that. I think part of the fish keeping, especially if you're going to be in it for a while, for a few years, to watch that fish grow over a few years, you definitely, I think, feel more attached. I think that's why the petricola catfish hit me hard. Whereas I love Bert, my red devil, but I did get him when he was full grown. So he's an awesome fish, love him to death, but I don't have that same that same attachment, I guess.
I know what you're saying. We actually, when we moved all the fish from the 90 over to the 220 gallon, we ended up losing one fish, and unfortunately, it was Bozo, my biggest and oldest clown loach. That one seriously, that one hit hard. That one, and we cut 2 years. Yeah, so we went out and we actually buried him in the front yard at the base of the rose bush, and it's the only fish that we buried. But he was special to us.
No, I think that's cool, man. I think it's cool you did that. You know, especially I don't name too many fish, but especially if a fish that you name is going to pass away, you know, that's you know, it's like a pet. It's a dog. I mean, they're all, you know, it's.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, back to the chat here for a second. Terry Lindsay, he's one of the coworkers of mine who really pushed me to start doing the YouTuber thing. He's in the chat today. Terry Lindsay, hello, how are you? We have it's just been announced that in 2 months we've got our local fish auction happening. So we're super excited for that because our spring auction was canceled. But Terry will definitely be going with that.
I wanna make a quick little rant because I know in the chat Jose and Aquafunk and them were talking about fish places and stuff to do here in Florida.
Oh, we're good.
Okay.
Red wine down.
Oh shit. All right. Okay. They were talking about the lack of stuff to do, and over by Aquafunk, there's like there's some more. There's actually a lot of breeders and stuff, and there's still not much to do. And I may be crazy, but I'm kind of sort of thinking about starting something up around Central Florida. I don't know what yet, if it's going to be some type of aquarium club or what I want to do, but there's a bunch of people that I like to hang out with, like Jose, my buddy Rob. There's a few people, and like, you know, Jay's not that far away. I know they're starting up a club. You've listened to Corey talk. He says that's crazy. I've listened to the Aquarius Podcast. There's a gentleman. If you haven't checked out the Aquarius Podcast, guys, check it out. It's a great podcast. But listen to an episode where a gentleman had just started a club just last year, I think, in Austin, Texas. And it's already got like 30 strong regularly members, which is awesome. But yeah, I mean, I just got a little jealous when you mentioned going to an auction. You know, it's like, man, I really wish I had that in my backyard, and I don't.
Yeah, super, super fun. Okay, here we go. Yeah, you like Aquafunk likes getting juvenile fish because at least you get a better idea of what they're going to look like when they get full grown. Plus, they're a little bit more stronger. They're also much more affordable.
Yeah, that's very true.
Ryan, I'm just going to. My cousin Johnny says he's coming to that auction too.
Yeah,
right on.
you got to take care of the wine, bro.
I got to take care of some broken glasses, some wine for 1 second here, Ryan. If you don't mind handling the chat for one moment here, I'll be right back.
I'll try to navigate. You guys are stuck with me for a few minutes. Jose says beers and fish club. Yeah, man. Someone had talked about catching wild fish, and in Florida, yeah, that's something I want to do. I really want to put together a video. Jose, who's in the chat, he's actually gone and caught some wild fish. And another little surprise about his tour, he actually has some wild fish that he had caught. What's up, Ben? He had some wild fish that he had caught. And in Florida here, that's one of the things that we're lucky to have. I mean, you can catch Florida flagfish. There's these things called pygmy sunfish. If you guys haven't seen a pygmy sunfish, they're beautiful and stunning. So I'd love to catch some of those. He says, rant. Yeah, Jay, man, if you want to come by, man, I mean, I want to plan it up this Saturday. Actually, hey, I want to shout out another channel while we're here. This Saturday, the 22nd, D Fish Keeper. He's a fish keeper in Ocala, Florida, but he also boxes, and he's going to be boxing in Orlando. So I'm going to go to his boxing match. Jose, if you want to come, man, come with me. Jay, I know it's a little far from you, but like I said, he's another fish fan member, so definitely going to support him in his other passions too. Buying juveniles, great for breeding. 808 tank. Yeah, you're right. I mean, you get to see which ones are going fast. You know, you got that male that shoots up, and okay, that's my breeding stock right there. Very, very good point. Let's scroll, see who else is here, who I didn't say hi to. Mr. Bees, what's going on, Mr. Bees? Let's see here. Rachel O'Leary had some of those sunfishes. Yeah, they're beautiful. Yeah, I've been so lucky here in Florida to meet some really cool fish.
Hey, Brandon. Mr. B. How are you? Thanks for stopping in.
To meet some really cool fish keepers here. There's a gentleman I met who gifted me 2 beautiful red rainbows, which you guys will see on my channel soon. But yeah, he used to work for Seagrass Farms, and he's just a wealth of knowledge. And he wants to come hang out and go collecting with us, I think. So I'm looking forward to just being a sponge and absorbing from this guy who has so many years in the industry, because, you know, I don't. What's up, Mr. D's? Gives them a chance to pair up. Yeah, I mean, I've heard that a lot. I haven't bred like angelfish, but I know, Jay, you could probably speak to this. You get a bunch of angelfish or whatever, and then let them naturally pair off. It's so much better than trying to just pluck 2 and make them do what they do. If you let them, you know, naturally pair off.
Hey, so thanks, Brian. Sorry, we had a little glass red wine incident, and I got a new floor here. And if my wife comes home tonight and sees a red wine stain on the new laminate that I just put down, she's not going to be too happy. So thanks for letting me clear that up.
Yeah, dude. No worries.
So, no, Mr. D's Tanks and more. He's in the house today. Hey, how are you, buddy? Thanks for stopping in, man. We appreciate that. Okay.
You're gonna find the zebra Pleco.
You're going to find the zebra Pleco? Okay. It's a Colombian zebra Pleco, which is a brown with yellow stripes on it. It's actually quite striking. It's the L129, and it's much more affordable. It's like $21.
You see one of the king tigers.
Yeah, and oh, Ben sees one of the king tigers. Super red. All right. Okay. So we're just kind of like finding some Plecos over here, but let's hop back into the chat here and see where we are. Daniel, thank you very much. He just wanted to let everyone know that they should hit the like button. So we appreciate that. Thank you very much. Okay, scrolling through back here. I'm a little bit behind.
I got a question for you, Ron.
Yeah.
So the 220, you got that set up. Now the 90-gallon, that you're gifting that to, it's your cousin, right?
I gifted another one. I'm keeping the one that I had here right now.
Okay. But what other? I mean, obviously you just had a big, you just had a big addition. But what are your plans? Let's say between now and the end of the year for your fish room.
Oh, well, I don't really have a fish room because I like to keep my tanks throughout the house. We've got one in Ben's room. He's got the 10-gallon tank. We've got the 29 in the kitchen. We've got our what we call our hobby room has got our 220-gallon and our 90-gallon in it. And we do plan on adding a 20-gallon, which is probably going to be either just a quarantine tank or Ashley really wants a plant grow-out tank, so we might do that. And then I think we're just going to add in the living room, probably a 10-gallon tank that we're going to just have a bed in.
Zebra Pleco.
Oh, right on.
It's just in that wall. I'm gonna get a bed in
I
my.
love the Pleco hunt, man. Could they see the Pleco hunt going on or no? Could they see any of this or no? They can only see me or can they see you?
They could, the kids? Oh.
No, I'm saying like the chat. Can the chat see the kids hunting for the Plecos or no?
Yeah, they could see it. I just, it's all about you tonight, Ryan. So I'm just kind of they see this tank every Wednesday. So
I got you. I hear you.
We're going to check out your tank.
Well, that's cool. Aquafunk says a fish hop shop. Yeah, man. I'd love to go to a few fish tours around. If we can if you want to come out this Saturday, I'm waiting to hear on what time D's fight is, but yeah, that'd be awesome. Ron, I heard, okay, you said you had a tank in your kitchen, right? You said you have a 29 in your kitchen?
Yeah.
My buddy Rob, he has a 55 in his kitchen, like overlooking his sink. And my wife doesn't even know this yet, but in our kitchen, I was measuring the countertop just last night, and it's like almost 13 inches wide. I'm like, oh, I could fit a 55 here. How do you like the tank in the kitchen? How is that like?
Love the tank in the kitchen. The tank in the kitchen is kind of near a load-bearing wall, so like we kind of thought about getting something bigger and cutting it into the wall, so it's one of those fish tanks that looks like it's in the wall. But right now it's just sitting on top of the bar in the kitchen, and it's great where it is, actually.
That's cool. Yeah, I don't like this is totally just in my head right now, but I was thinking of like a Shelly tank, like a 20-gallon long, or maybe even a 29 or even a 55, like a Shelly tank in the kitchen. I thought would just be cool. Washing
that
dishes.
would be cool. Shellies are hard to find. We had somebody on last week, Gary's Aquatics. He asked me for it. You don't find those up around Canada.
Yeah.
Up around where I live, anyway.
Yeah, dude, that stinks, man. I wish, I think there's some big fish stores like out east in Nova Scotia and stuff. It stinks that there's not a lot out west for you.
There is a lot that is just, and I'm not too far from the co-op, which some of my fish have come from. So,
True.
I mean, it's a 2.5 hour drive, so it's worth it though. The place is amazing.
Yeah, I get in this hobby, you have to really 2.5 hours for one of the greatest fish stores is not that bad.
No, it's not. And you're getting tons of the longer you're in the hobby, I'm sure the more you want to get fish that are uncommon, because you've had all the common fish for quite a while and you just want to kind of change it up.
Yeah, no, I like the wife and I, not every week, but every week, every other week, we go and we do a little loop of some fish stores, and it's nice to see some just different stuff. Even if I have no intentions of keeping it, or maybe I will because I never knew it existed before. Yeah,
which is pretty cool. Like when I went down to the co-op, I went down there because I really wanted to. Well, I wanted to go check it out, but I really wanted a blue phantom pleco, which I couldn't find here. They had one, so I went down. And I knew they also had some super res, which at the time I couldn't find. So I bought some of them, but I had no plans on buying archer fish, but I came away with 3 of them from there.
I think I would have done the same thing if you'd done that. I don't know if I could have walked out there without those archer fish. Those are just super neat.
Well, I'd never seen them before. I'd only ever seen them on YouTube in Corey's 800 gallon. So to buy 3 of them was pretty cool.
Yeah, I've never seen them live. I've never seen them live ever.
Yeah. Okay, we've got Nalan's Tanks here too. Thanks for stopping in, man. Aquarium Thoughts is wondering if I can drive to the wet spot too as well. Well, the wet spot's in Portland, and I've actually been in contact with the wet spot. And okay, now we've got the cat in here too. There's the cat. That's Spartacus. But I've been in touch with Wet Spot, seeing if they'll ship up here, which they won't, but they've kind of had some ideas of shipping somewhere in Washington. But the problem with this, if I go down to Portland, that's an 8-hour drive. So I got to keep these fish in bags for 8 hours. So I don't think that could work. I mean, if you go to an auction, they're all day and they're in bags and they live. But I don't know if something happened. I don't know.
I feel like the wet spot's definitely one of the first websites / fish stores that I found out about that sells some really cool fish. And I feel like it's a badge one day I have to order some fish from the wet spot. I just have to eventually. It's just I feel like they're notorious for just having really cool fish.
And that's where Aquarium Co-op gets some of their fish from there too.
Do they? Okay, I didn't even know that. It makes sense though. They probably import so many fish.
Yeah.
So Jay's in Texas. His son is graduating Air Force boot camp. Hey man, congratulations! I know you served the country too, so that's cool that he's following in your footsteps, man.
Giovanni says that he's putting a double side in his kitchen. That's pretty cool. He's going to put the 90 gallon in his kitchen. Okay, we've got Good Night Wait Tanks. He's heading out. Just for fun, how many Phoenix Rasporas can fit in a 29 gallon planted tank safely? Ryan, what do you think?
Ooh, you know what? I'm going to have to say I don't know what a Phoenix Rasbora is. I do know Rasboras are smaller fish. So I would assume that if a Phoenix Rasbora is anything like a Rasbora het, which is pretty much the only Rasbora I know of, you could probably, get away with 20 or 30, depending on, the other stocking. But like I said, I don't really know what a Phoenix Rasbora is. It may be like a huge Rasbora. I'm not sure.
I would agree with you there, Ryan. If they're the same size as like a Harlequin Rasbora or a Galaxy Rasbora, which only get to about an inch, then you could definitely comfortably throw 20 in there and maybe some Corys or something like that in there with them.
Someone said, do I keep Lucky Schmuck? Do you keep rainbow fish? Anything else you'd like from Australia? I do actually. Tom over at Team Aquatics sent me some dwarf Praecox rainbow fish eggs. So I have a few dozen rainbow fish that are about this big. But my buddy David gifted me 2 gorgeous, I think they're Irian red rainbow fish, but they're full grown and they're gorgeous. And you guys see them soon on the channel. I think I posted a picture on my Instagram. But they're in a 55 kind of quarantine holding. But for now, that's it. I'm not a huge rainbow fish geek, but I want to breed those dwarf rainbows and maybe breed those reds as well.
They're really easy to breed. I'm not trying to breed them, but I've got some Bosmanis in this tank here. They're just in that big community tank, so they lay eggs, and the eggs are gone within an hour or two. But I'm not trying to breed them, and they're laying eggs in the Java moss constantly.
Yeah, I think with the rainbow fish, that's what when I reached out to Tom. I said, "Hey man, do your rainbow fish breed by any chance?" He goes like, "Yeah, every morning, dude." I was like, oh, "Okay." He's like, "But the hardest part is getting the eggs if there's other fish in there before they get eaten, and then raising them because they're so tiny."
Yeah, they're not the best parents either. So I think even if you leave them in a rainbow fish exclusive tank, you're gonna have to take them out. Not rely on them to raise them themselves. They're not like a bristlenose pleco that's gonna make sure they hatch and take care of the fry.
All right, Jesse's Tanks is here. I wanted to embarrass him. I was hoping he'd show up. Jesse's Tank's birthday was like I think 2 days ago. So everyone wish Jesse's Tanks a happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Jesse. I also noticed that Hugh from Prolific Breed is here. Hey, Hugh, how's it going, man? Those nano tanks looking good, man. He was really branched off into the saltwater world as well. He started with freshwater. Now he's into the saltwater scene as well. Getting real diverse over there at Prolific Breed.
Nice. The saltwater stuff, actually, before I got back into the hobby, even before the tilapia stuff, at my office, I used to daydream about owning a saltwater tank. And I even, to this day, I'm like a spreadsheet nerd. So I research stuff, but I have like a spreadsheet of what my ideal 55-gallon fowler, which is like a fish, I forget the acronym, but I have a whole game plan if I ever do get into saltwater, the tank I want.
What kind of fish would you put in it?
I really want to do something or a few different symbiosis. I'm gonna butcher the names, but there's some shrimp and some gobies that work together. I'm really big on like just nature and the breeding and the plants and just having it work together.
The gobies are the sand sifters, right?
Yeah, there's a Watchman goby. Someone probably can Prolific. You probably knows more than me about the saltwater stuff, obviously. But I really wanted to focus on some of the symbiotic relationships, like a clownfish and an anemone, stuff like that.
Yeah, you have to. How can you not have Nemo if you're gonna have a saltwater tank?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, let's hop back into. Oh, you would totally have Nemo and Dory. Okay. Jesse's girl doesn't like rainbow fish. She talked you into getting koi swordtails instead. Well, those are pretty cool too. Those are like they have like the orange tail, the white body, and then they've got orange on their head. I've seen those. Those are pretty cool. Everyone's saying happy birthday to Jesse. Right on.
I hope he's not upset. I was just joking around. But yeah, my swordtails, I think swordtails are cool. Apparently they take forever to grow out though. Like I didn't really know much about them. I got one when I bought the 125. I got a pair and she popped babies out and I was like, this is awesome. And I did some research and apparently they take like a lot longer to grow out than like a guppy, which I thought they just, grew out like a guppy.
Interesting fact. I didn't know that either.
At least I think that's what I've heard.
I haven't had swordtails in a long time.
I'm not a swordtail expert. I'm just that's
yeah. I was really into the live bears when I was a kid. Like I started doing this when I was like 13 and breeding guppies and mollies and all that kind of stuff. But I kind of steered away from it now just because I'm into other things now. But I still like them, and every once in a while I think about maybe starting up with some kind of strands of guppies and stuff again. But
yeah, there's some really cool strains out there, man. Michael Fistrom has some strains, and then Twin City Guppies. I mean, gosh, if you follow him on Instagram just for the freaking pictures of his guppies.
That's Kang Lee?
Yeah, Kang Lee, yeah. I think he imports some, but he also breeds some as well. But yeah, I mean, they got some really cool guppies. I'm not super into them. Like, obviously, if you can spend a lot of money on guppies or betas, and those expensive ones are really beautiful. Not my cup of tea, but I can appreciate them for sure.
He even says like how much he pays for some of them, and they're like $150 for a pair and stuff like that. Yeah. And then he breeds them and sells them.
Yeah,
and he imports them from Thailand or Singapore. I'm not sure. I believe it's one of the two. Okay. Aquarium Thoughts is saying there's even smaller guppies like Galaxy or even Micro. Galaxy Rasporas, their body type looks like Danio to me. Okay, here we go. Oh, he's Googling Phoenix Rasboros, also known as Chili Rasboros. Okay, yeah, I know what Chili Rasboros
Okay,
are.
yeah, I've heard of them too.
Yeah. Okay, let's see here. We're scrolling through. Jose thought live bears were boring because everybody had them. Yeah, Hugh's saying that the only downside to guppies is that they only last about a year, and unless they can make babies, it's all over. Pretty easy to breed guppies. One problem, though, that I've had with guppies is they can be susceptible to dropsy. And dropsy will wipe out like 3/4 of your guppy population. Luckily, it doesn't spread to the other fish in your tank, but once they get it, their body's pine cone, and that's it. There's no cure for them.
I've never dealt with dropsy, but I've heard of it. Like I follow like Solid Gold Aquatics, and she's dealt with it like in goldfish. But that's
I had that one. I've only ever had it once, and it happened to my guppy tank, and it wiped out 3/4 of the population. No going back. But they eventually, because they breed so much, they all came back.
I think is your water's pretty hard out of the tap.
Yeah.
Okay. I think some people that have issues with guppies, if they get super hot, I think also it can like speed up their metabolism, or they'll just die quicker. And also, if you have soft water, they'll melt. Like in soft water, they just don't do well. But if you have like normal water or hard water, I think it's pretty,
They do like a higher pH. I think like 7.4 is the recommended.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head, I think it's 7.4 is the recommended pH for guppies.
Yeah.
Hey, no worries, Matt. It took Matthew Moore. It took so long to get here, but you know what? We were hard to find tonight. We weren't in our scheduled live stream because we had some technical difficulties to start. But you're here, and that's all that matters. Okay. Dubrexy21 is from Australia, and he does not even like rainbow fish. That's wow. I don't even know what to say about that.
What do you like? Maybe it's like maybe he's seen them his whole life. I don't know. A rainbow fish like everywhere, where it's like boring. What do you like then, Dub?
I am kind of. I will admit that I'm kind of picky with my rainbow fish. Like I really like Bosemani. I really like turquoise. Praecox? Yeah, those ones are pretty cool too. I think that's it. But there are some plain-looking rainbow fish out there as well.
Red.
Yeah, the Australian red isn't. It's kind of more like a faint red, goldy kind of a tint. That one's not the best looking one, but some of the dark red ones look pretty cool.
Yeah, that's the one. Like I said, I feel so terrible because David wouldn't even tell me what he paid for these rainbow fish, but they're like really deep red. They're like full red. I think it's an Irian red or something.
Yeah, I've seen yours that you have there. Those are the nice ones.
Yeah,
the ones that I have are not nice.
Matt saying the Bosemani are nice. Yeah, I've seen some. My buddy Rob has some really nice big. They're really big Bosemani, nice looking fish.
Does he have the orange and blue or the yellow and blue?
I think they're the orange and blue.
Those are cool. Those are harder to find. I just have the yellow and blue.
Come to think of it, I didn't even know really there was a difference. Is it a different species or different location point?
Good question. I don't know the answer to that one.
Maybe it's just like the Bristlenose Plecos where it's like a color morph or something. I don't know.
I actually asked my LFS if they would import me some orange and blue ones, and they said on the sheet it just says Bosemani Rainbow. They don't get an option of which kind they can import.
That's weird. I'll have to double check. I'm pretty sure his is orange and blue, though. I can look back at the video I did, but yeah, pretty sure it's orange.
Yeah, they're pretty cool. The males are darker in color, and as they get bigger, they get more pronounced. So when you buy them young, like I did, they're not that colorful, but the longer you have them, and they get pretty big, like 3 to 4 inches long. It's pretty big.
Yeah, when I saw his in person, they were definitely bigger than what I thought. Because you see them at the store sometimes. I've seen them at PetSmart, and they're not colored up, whatever. But to see a full-grown one in person is really a beautiful sight.
Our PetSmart is limited too. We don't have that kind of stuff at our PetSmart.
Yeah, it's weird. Like, our PetSmart, PetSmart and Petco have like kind of a decent selection, and there's another one, Pet Supermarket, which has some really crazy stuff that they probably shouldn't even sell, like arowana and all this crap. But I won't get into that. But
we have there's arowanas. There's here, not at the PetSmarts and all that, but some of the local
good ones though, right? That you can get the the Asian arowana. We just get the Giardini, I believe, or the silver. I don't really know.
There's the silver. There's the black. The black ones are really expensive. The black ones are like 4 inches long and $150.
Jeez.
Yeah.
That's too rich for my blood.
Yeah, I'm not when I first started fish keeping, my buddy who I started with, we started doing like guppies for profit, and then he ended up switching it up and getting an arowana, and that's something different. That's a different kind of fish. And it got massive in his 90-gallon fish tank. You could barely turn around.
I don't think I'm ready for that type of commitment yet, I guess. I don't know. I do want to get some. I want to get some Frontosa eventually.
You?
Yeah, Fishy Wishes actually. Another guy, fish fam guy, Fishy Wishes. He's over in Tampa, and his Frontosa breed for him. So I'm gonna buy some Frontosa fry from him and grow them out. But yeah, who knows? I'm not a huge like monster fish guy, but you never know. In 5 years, 3 years, where I may be with a hobby, take it as a journey and just kind of go with it.
I totally agree with you. That's why I'm not a huge monster fish guy myself. I like medium to nano type fish. I mean, the clown loaches will get big. Some of these plecos will kind of get up to like 8-inch size, but that's my max. Otherwise, I like having maybe the odd big fish kind of swimming around here, but the rest I like having the little nano fish in there.
I don't blame you. I mean, Bert, my red devil or Midas cichlid, whatever, he's grown on me. When I first rescued him out of that 90-gallon tank with a bunch of other fish, I was like, okay, this is just a big cichlid. And he grew on me. And the week that I kind of had him, I was like, okay, he's staying. He's got to stay.
Actually, we've got Hawaiian Peacock that I noticed has just joined the chat.
Hey, what's up, Mel?
What's up, Mel? Mel, I got something in the mail from you today. And so I figured, you know what? I'm just going to open this while I'm on camera here. This is from Mel, the Hawaiian Peacock. So, Ryan, you weren't on the last week's chat, but I did the same thing because I just got your.
I watched it in the replay. I didn't catch it live, but I did watch it on the replay.
Okay, I got a little note in here too. Thank you, much love, aloha, Hawaiian Peacock, and even drew the hang loose.
I love it.
Check it out. There's Mel's sticker.
That's awesome.
Thanks very much, Mel. Appreciate you, buddy. That backyard pond of yours is looking great. Yeah, he's digging a backyard pond, and he's got his neighbor helping him. I think it's your neighbor. His neighbor's helping him out. Heather's in the house today. Hello, Heather. Thanks for stopping in. We appreciate it. We've got Ryan the Lucky Schmuck on here.
I think I missed our Australian buddy Dub said the rainbow fish are really local. You can catch them in the backyard. I guess we have what you want, right? Yeah, the grass is always greener. So he wants L number plecos. He likes sparkle fish like blue rams. Yeah, I guess it's like a case of the grass is always greener. Whatever you can't get is what you want.
Well, your local friends don't have it, so why wouldn't you want it? Then you can show off your tank when they come over.
Right?
The L number plecos is like what I'm totally into right now. That's my obsession right now.
And you got to spend a lot of time on Tom's channel because Tom's got him, man. Tom's the man to see about the L numbers right now. Tom
does have it. He actually hooked me up with a guy over in Toronto, but again, it's $100 to ship. And I mean, some of these, I'm not buying zebra plecos because I'm not at a point in my life where I'm dropping $150 on a fish.
Yeah.
But the $100 shipping has really kind of got me held up right now.
I don't blame you, man. That's a tough pill to swallow.
Yeah, but I really like right now. I think I've got 6 different types of plecos right now. I think I have 10 plecos total, but this weekend my goal is to get a gold nugget pleco. I'm not sure which L number they have. There's 3 different types of L numbers for a gold nugget, but
I was gonna say I don't know them, but I do know there's like a few different L numbers.
Yeah, for the gold nugget, it depends. It's basically spot size, which I don't really care which one.
You have no preference.
I have no preference, but they are more of a delicate pleco, so we'll take it. I think I'm going to take my chances with it.
I think you'll be fine. I mean, you think more delicate than like the only plecos I really have. I have the bristle nose, and then in my big tank I have a sail fin, and that's it. Like those are not that hard. I have no L numbers. I mean, you already have some. Do you think this would be any more difficult than some of the other like plecos you have, like the Blue Phantom?
I don't think so. I mean, the Blue Phantom is an omnivore. Eats meat and veggies, so it'll also kind of eat a little bit of algae as well. So those plecos I find are easier because just in case, plecos are hiding some of the time, or they're nocturnal, so they're not always out during feeding time. But like my super reds and all that in this tank, as soon as there's food in the tank, bam, they're on it. But like I've got the Colombian zebra, and I've got some of the L66 king tigers, and they aren't the fastest. Sorry?
I was gonna say the king tigers you got; those are really cool. Those are the ones you got from a local breeder, right?
That's right. So they're a poor man's zebra pleco. So I bought them. They're like an inch long for $15 each. But the pattern is very similar. I mean, it's not the same, but it's very similar to.
I'd be in the same boat as you. I would not be spending, $150. There's one local guy I know who dropped, I think he paid $300 for a pair, or what he thought was a pair. I actually haven't talked to him to see how they did, but that's the only person other than you that I really know, I guess, that owns them. Well, Tom over at TM. But,
right. The guy that I bought, he's got about 150 of these L66s because he's been breeding them. But he was trying to breed the zebra plecos too, and he bought 6 for $250 each, which is too rich for my blood.
Yeah, that's tough. It's tough. Like, I love the hobby, and I know you had spoke about on your 1,000 subscriber video. You spoke about maybe doing some more video and some more content about fish keeping on the cheap, right? Like finding ways to keep the cost down. And
which the $15 L66 is a much better option than the.
That's a great idea. Listen, if you love a zebra pleco and you want to get that same feel, boom, $15 as opposed to 150, 200, whatever.
Exactly. I don't know. I think guys you've been in the hobby for a long time too. There's ways to get around spending a lot of money.
Yeah. Like I said, I'm a spreadsheet nerd. So when I went on this whole endeavor of making the fish cave, starting January 1st of this year, I have every transaction that I bought, sold, traded for in the fish cave and tanks or whatever. I have it on a spreadsheet. And, I may share it one day. I mean, I'm not trying to hold it close to my chest. I think it's kind of boring to people. But I'm all about not trying to spend a bunch of money. I haven't made a ton. But believe it or not, through the whole fish cave, all those tanks you see, I'm actually a little positive, from buying and selling tanks and trading and shrimp. I have all that stuff and a little positive.
That's awesome. Well, I know before I bought this tank here that I was direct messaging you on Instagram, just kind of throwing out what you thought about the price I was paying for what I was getting. And part of that was what made me pull the trigger on that.
Yeah, I thought you got a good deal. It's tough, obviously, in different, I'll say different parts of the country, but, different coasts. And I'll say I'd love, anybody who puts out content about, cheap stuff. I love to hear about that. I love a good deal. So I'm looking forward to hear your inputs, because I got a few buddies around here that do it, which is great. But after a while, it's the same information. So to hear from you, different country, different coast, different area, I'm sure I'll be able to pick some stuff up from you.
Well, hopefully. I mean, you seem to know quite a bit about doing stuff on a budget, but hopefully we'll learn something from you.
I'm sure, dude. I'm sure. Like I think I was watching a video the other day of someone who had been in the fish. I don't know who it was, but they said something about, you're always going to learn. And they're not the only one to say it, but you could be in the hobby for 30, 40, 50 years. And there's guys that are, 60, 70 right now, and they still will admit that they don't know everything.
Okay, so I'm kind of way behind in the chat here, and Terry Lindsay talking about Bob Steamfott's video today about breeding a neon shelly. It said that's a super cool type of fish. I have it in my queue. I honestly haven't watched that one yet, but it is in there. Fish Tropic saying King Tiger ain't for poor man, $70 to $100. But that's why I'm saying, like, the local breeder, $15. Blue Phantom Fry are $950 each. Brexy paid. Holy cow, that is a lot of money. I paid $25 for mine. But that's in Australia, so who knows, right? There are no tax write-offs for me because I do not make any money from YouTube. Okay. Prolific got L133s for $25 each. The L133 is the other King Tiger Pleco.
Okay.
Actually, the only difference, some people will say like their pattern is different, but it's actually their tail. The L66 kind of comes in like a U like that, where the L33 is flatter. In case any other L nerds out there wanted to get
I love it, man. I don't know anything about these L numbers, so it's all good information for me to learn.
Once you get into it, it's hard to get out of it. Like, it's super addicting. And he goes on Craigslist to get his. Mel over the Hawaiian Peacock is all about balling on a budget. I mean, that's the only way I can do it, right? We have mortgages. We've got kids. Some of us, we're not dropping tons of money on fish.
Yeah. I mean, wife and I have no kids, but obviously she's very supportive. But I told her, babe, I don't want to make this be a money pit. I'm not going to say I'm going to make a ton of money doing it, but if I could keep it around even or not, mortgage the house again, we're good.
And well, that's awesome, man. Like all my fish stuff comes from me doing side jobs. I'm a sheet metal worker.
Okay.
So
that's
side job. It's all cash. I don't put anything on the. So that's why sometimes I got to save up a little because it's all. If I don't have anything coming, I got to wait for something to come.
That's the smart way to do it. That's what I do now. At the beginning, I would, dip in, but now I try if I'm going to buy something like the reason why I'm trying to have a 55 gallon that I want to trade or sell to get a 75 rather than spend the money myself first, just to keep myself honest, because you're right. It's a smart way to do it.
And I do sell stuff too. I try and do I sold this tank here came with 2 stands. I sold the other one pretty quick and then just dump that back in the fish fund. I like to use bidding. I don't know what they would call it down in Florida, but through Facebook, bidding battles, bidding wars, those type of groups.
Okay. Yeah, my buddy, I got rid of my Facebook 2 years ago or so, and I haven't been on. My buddy Rob uses it a ton, and I know I'm missing out on a big, market, but I really just use Craigslist, OfferUp, and Letgo for the most part.
JQ Channel apologizes. He had to do some homework, so he had to leave the chat a while, but he's back. Welcome back. And Tom was just mentioning. Now I don't want to butcher this guy's name here in the chat, but I have reached out to him. I think is it Gahan? I'm sorry if I'm butchering his name, but he's a big Pleco breeder in Toronto. He does have some crazy stuff, top-notch quality stuff, and I did reach out to him over on Messenger, but again, his stuff he's got the leopard frogs, the zebra plecos, so he does have the premium priced ones, and then you're throwing the shipping on top of it. I just can't pull a trigger on something like that right now.
That's tough. I think some of those luckily I hope are coming down. I think leopard frog plecos are $50 now, and they used to be, I think for a while they were close to 100 or more.
Yeah. If you can find them around here, they're about 75, but still they used to be about 125.
Yeah.
Praecox says that used tanks on Craigslist by me are always overpriced. Well, there's actually a little club, a website called BC Aquaria, which is because I live in the province of British Columbia, and that is way better than Craigslist. And the people that are on there know what they're talking about. But that's where I bought this tank off. That's where I find all my local breeders of. That, if you have an online group local to you that are just about fish keeping, not just a Craigslist, or maybe somebody's selling their kid's tank and they don't know anything about it, that's where you find stuff that's hard to find and at reasonable price.
Yeah. I know. Hey, what's up, Mel? I know Mel said sorry about the loss of the catfish. Thanks, man. I know you post something on the video. I didn't get a chance to respond, but thank you, bro. I appreciate it. And thanks for the shout out, man. Someone else had asked about a dwarf cichlid. I think a cool one that I have is it's an African butterfly cichlid. So it doesn't have a ton of color, but if you can find African butterfly cichlid, it's a cool one. Or the other dwarf cichlid that I keep is a Lake Tanganyika cichlid, which is a daffodil cichlid. So those are the two I would recommend because those are the two that I keep. So I don't want to recommend something I don't keep.
I think Aquafunk had a video on those butterfly cichlids recently.
No, his were so Aquafunk did a video on the African butterfly fish, which is a different species. Mine are the did I say butterfly or did I say daffodil? Maybe I
thought you said butterfly.
If I said butterfly, then I didn't. Okay. The first ones are the African butterfly cichlid, but they're like they're different fish. I forget the scientific name, but the ones you were talking about were the ones at the top.
Yeah.
And the ones that I were talking about, they're like a regular cichlid. I forget the scientific name, but they both have similar common names. So it's like, I think mine are called the West African butterfly cichlid.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry for the confusion.
No worries. Well, I think we've run kind of well over our 1 hour that we were planning on doing.
That went quick.
But if anyone had another question that they wanted to throw out to Ryan before we kind of wind this down, feel free. Otherwise, I think we're going to kind of come to an end here. Over on the East Coast, I mean, it's after 11 o'clock for you right now, right?
Yeah, it's 11:15. But
what time do you have to get up?
What's that?
What time do you have to get up?
I'll be up at like 6 tomorrow. Not terrible. I'm fine. I'm not that. It's not that big of a deal. I'm a late night guy. I'll probably be up till midnight anyway.
Okay.
But no, thank you, man. Thank you for having me on. I was, kind of perusing the chat. I'm sure we missed some questions, but I saw a lot of people talking and subbing to each other and stuff, which is freaking awesome. I don't hang out in these live streams enough. Hopefully I'll be on some more. Maybe I'll do some myself. But yeah, thanks for everybody for coming to hang out. It was really fun. And Ron, once again, thanks, man. Congratulations again on the 1,000. And yeah, it was awesome, man. Thank you.
I just want to say thank you so much for coming on, being the inaugural guest here. I kind of want to just change things up, and I really like your I really like your channel. I mean, I watch all your videos, and I leave I think I leave a comment on all of them.
You do, man. It's a big support. And I tried the same. Like I said, we started out at, when I first the first video I saw of yours was the classical music, which I think was your first video, and then I saw you doing the one with the tuxedo and your boxers on, and I binge watched like 4 or 5 your videos, and I was like, okay, subscribe. I
appreciate that. And then you nominated me for the Lemons for Leukemia one. And then pretty much ever since that video, I've watched all of your videos.
No, the same. I mean, that's really cool. Big shout out to One Fish, Two Fish for kind of, making that happen, because she was the first one. There's been many since, but she's the first one to really reach out to me and go, hey, why don't you do be part of the fish fam, essentially. It's kind of just cool.
Yeah. So anyway, I just want to say thank you very much. Appreciate everyone that we had on. I think we had 20-something, like 25 people at its height here on today. And thank you very much. Don't forget to enter the contest, because we have less than 100 people that have entered. Your chance to win an Amazon gift card. Check out that video. This Friday coming up, I'll be announcing the winner of that. And then next Wednesday, we will be doing another live stream. And just kind of a Wednesday night, what's up, come hang out type of a thing. But I just want to thank Ryan one more time. Thank you very much, Ryan. And don't forget to check out his videos. Ryan puts out, depending on the week, sometimes 1, sometimes 2 or 3, right, Ryan?
Yeah, I try to do 2. Usually it's, 1 to 3.
Okay. Great. Okay, well, thanks, everybody. And we'll see you again next week. Happy fish keeping, everyone.